Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Ann at Martin House Flowers. In today's video, it was time to plant out my David Austin bare root roses that I just received on Friday. I had received 3 bare root roses, the first one being Boscobel, and I had decided that I wanted to plant Boscobel right in the center of this side yard. This is my west side of the garden, and I also fondly call this my hydrangea room. I have right against the house several panicle hydrangeas. So it was time to dig the hole for my Boscobel bare root rose, and as per the David Austin instructions, we are supposed to dig a hole that is 16 inches round. And although this is the larger of my 3 roses, this rose will grow to be 4 feet by 4 feet high and wide. And a 16-inch hole, I tested it out, was large enough for the roots. The roots weren't as large as the other 2, but in any case, I had dug this out the other day, and I just needed to make it a little wider, a little deeper. I was trying to maneuver around the tulips and iris that were planted in this area. And I'm happy that I left myself one opening and didn't need to relocate some of the tulips. So it's important to, when you dig out your hole for your rose, to remove any stragglers of roots or debris that's in the hole. And I did see a few roots. Now, some of those could have been from the iris or from the tulips, but in any case, they seem to be loose roots. So there were just a few that I pulled out. The soil in this area is pretty much the natural soil that we have. We have clay soil here in northern Illinois, and I'm in zone 5B, but we have been supplementing the soil with mulch every single season, and we've been in our garden. This is our 4th year, and so the soil, the mulch has broken down over the years, so it's pretty good soil, but I still wanted to amend the soil with some aged cow manure or compost. So that's where I went off to get my bag of compost, and I just get this at a local hardware store, and it's pretty affordable. It's just over $2 a bag. It's the same compost that I use to amend my raised garden beds every spring. So I put in some of the compost, and I like to mix up the compost with the soil that's in the hole, because you don't want the roots to only grow in the new compost material. You want it to grow and get used to the actual soil that is in the ground. So I basically amend the existing soil that you see there that I dug out, as well as mixing it in with the compost. Next, I add my mycorrhizae or biotone to the hole, and I mix it with both the compost and the actual soil from the garden. And the biotone or mycorrhizae basically acts as a root stimulator, and it helps these new roots grow and work with the soil around it. Now, prior to planting my bare root rose, it's important to soak your rose at least 2 hours in a bucket of water to hydrate it and allow the roots to be more flexible. In my case, I had actually put it in a pail overnight, and I had already taken it out of the bucket of water. Soaking the roots in water allows the roots to be more flexible, and that way you're able to form the roots to the hole. And sometimes the roots can be quite large, and it's okay to trim those roots. In this case, I was able to kind of flex them to fit in the hole quite nicely. And as you're backfilling the hole with the soil that you had dug out, the base of the canes are to be planted about 2 inches below the surface of the soil. Although Boscobel is the larger rose of the three, it was kind of ironic that the plant itself, or the roots, were actually finer and smaller than the other two bare root roses that you'll see coming up. After backfilling the hole, it's important to push down and try to get rid of any air pockets that might be in the hole. You can either push down as I did or step on it, but I felt like I had more control by using my hands, just because there were so many tulips and bulbs around this area. After planting your rose and packing it down, getting rid of any air pockets, it's always a good idea to mulch all around your rose. So I tried to take whatever mulch I had available to me in the bed and just surround it with mulch. Now we will come back in a week or so with more fresh mulch for the entire bed, and I will certainly pack around the roses to maintain the moisture. So on to my second and third rows. I decided to change my mind on the location. Originally, in my last video, I had shown the holes that I dug behind the bobo hydrangeas against the house. But I reminded myself that the bobo hydrangeas get to be about 2 to 3 feet wide and up to 3 feet tall and wide. And I decided that the area behind would probably be too close to the bobo hydrangeas, as well as the siding against the house. So I decided to put them at the front of my raised garden bed area. And I do have a rose here. It's a climbing rose called Arbor Rose Honeymoon. To the left of me there, but it's been eaten, unfortunately, by the rabbits, so it's pretty small right now, and it was definitely a slow growing rose last year, although it did bloom. So in this area here, it's probably about a 4 foot, 3.5, 4 foot wide bed that has the stones around it that we haven't dug deep enough yet, but we have definitely room here to expand this bed if we need to, if the rose gets larger. But I did have a number of tulips planted here last fall, so you'll see me digging up those tulips and just moving them just to the right and the front a little bit. So there you have it. This is Eustacia Vi, and she grows 3 feet by 3 feet, and she's a beautiful apricot pink, and I think she'll go beautifully with the soft white climbing rose of Arbor Rose Honeymoon. They're both a beautiful pastel colorway. So planted just across from Eustacia Vi, across the arbor is Harlow Carr. I planted her right to the edge. I have a clematis, Happy Jack, climbing on the arbor. And then you have the Arbor Rose Honeymoon Rose, and then you have Eustacia Vi. I think those are a beautiful combination of pink and white roses. And just down the way from all the hydrangeas was the first bare root, which is Boscobel. And that's the larger of the 3. It will grow 4 feet by 4 feet. Well, thank you for joining me today as I planted my David Austin bare root roses. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.